Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and beyond. This week, we are taking a break from our regular program to go behind the scenes at the U.S. Embassy in Manila for a unique look at the President's trip to the Philippines this past November.
When the President comes to your country, it's pretty much like the most exciting thing in your career. It wasn't until I got to play this role that I understood the intensity and the complexity of what it takes to make a presidential visit work. And I've learned so much that I'll be able to take with me for the rest of my career.
The people who work in the embassy, who are doing the real work to help the White House staff turn into action what they want done on this visit. It's a remarkable thing to see.
The first big event of his whole visit here was to come out to the pier. The event on game day looks so radically different from the event when we first walked onto that pier. It's also pretty exciting. I've been crawling over these two ships for the last 2 weeks. Been a lot of things that you never get to do otherwise.
On a day-to-day basis, we usually follow a lot of news, but for this particular week, since it's all about APEC and the President is here, we're focusing on that.
Logistically, in the case of an APEC summit, there are arrangements that have to be made for the press and the press corps that travels with the President.
So that they'll have access to all the events and to making sure that any press engagements are coordinated and that there's people to cover the event. So that's all right out of the press office.
There's all kinds of different people from all over the world that are watching this, so they want to make sure that they get the best shot and the best story to speak to their viewers and their readers. So that's kind of what we're working on.
People in the management section are dealing with cars and passes and getting the access necessary to the areas where everybody needs to go.
I think one of the most interesting parts about the visit from the President is to be able to work with so many different law enforcement agencies here locally as well as U.S. government agencies. It takes so many people to make sure that these events go off flawlessly.
And we'll set up a control room, which means we set up multiple computers, so be it laptops, workstations. We also go out and we provide cell phones. We get SIM cards. Just about anything to do with communications, we have a hand in it, whether directly or indirectly.
So the difference between what we do on a daily basis in dealing with the public, dealing with the Philippine government on bilateral and multilateral issues, this is a different moment. This week is all hands on deck to help the President, to help the White House staff in their visit.
We're always working toward one goal, but a high-level visit of the President of the United States really galvanizes the embassy and all its different sections in a way that few things do.
The President doesn't come to every country, there isn't time, so it's nice to be in a place where that kind of thing happens. This is the first time that I've been at a specific post where it's happened.
It's a chance for us to display and show off our talents and stuff, you know, and especially that of the local staff.
We have about 750 local staff plus Americans and their families who would like to meet the President and like to have the opportunity to maybe shake his hand, maybe hear a few words from him in person. And so we are arranging a big event for Friday where they will get to have that opportunity.
The most important job in any embassy is not the ambassador and it's not the President when he comes visiting. It's all of you. You guys do a great job representing our country, and your families do as well. I want you all to know that I will be leaving in half an hour, and I know that you're going to pretend like you're sorry to see me go, but I also know it's a lot of work when the President comes into town, so thank you, everybody. God bless you.